Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Exodus. In this episode we are going to be doing a lot to do with Mekanism, if you know what that mod is. To start off, we're just going to craft first some heat generators. Here, these will allow us to turn coal into energy. So we're gonna need a decent amount of coal. Actually, instead of doing it that way, we can go down to the mob farm because this is the expanded mob farm. I've been working on it for quite a while. I don't even know how long this is. It's a pretty big main passage. Then in each of these, there's one spawner on each side. And we have elevators that go up. We can turn anything on just like that. All of them are maxed out with conduits, nether stars, soul lamps, and what's the other thing? And redstone repeaters. Redstone repeaters make them have, or comparators make them have redstone control. The nether stars make it so that I don't need to be in proximity. And finally, not finally, but the conduits, which the conduits we got from using Nautilus shells here, obtained by a drowned spawner. So just like that one had a Nautilus shell in its hand. Every once in a while they'll just spawn and have those in their hand, but the conduit makes it so that it ignores spawn conditions. I honestly don't fully know what that does, because the other things also ignore some conditions and whatever. Then we also have the soul lamp. The soul lamp is what makes it so that all of these will actually work despite how bright these rooms are, because it makes it so that it ignores light. And we need some coal for the heat generators. I think if we do this, produces the using the heat of lava or other burnable resources to produce energy. In each one of these I have a netherite stack 5 tier upgrade, which is a block of netherite. Well, here it is. It's 96 netherite scraps, or 2 blocks of netherite plus 6, then 24 diamonds. So this just continues going down and down. I have one in each chest there is. Then I also have a compacting upgrade. These allow for the coal that drops gets automatically put into coal blocks. Likewise with iron for the iron golems right here. Gold for the piglins, zombie piglins right here. Let's just get rid of all this trash. But gold for the zombie piglins, copper as you saw before. Besides that, we also have just a map for what we have. We have in this one the drowned. That's what I just showed you. Here is where I just was. This is the zombie piglin. These 4 haven't changed at all. It's the zombie piglin. This one is the, I think it's Ancient Knight it's called. That's where we get our netherite scraps. This one's the iron golem. That's where we get our iron. And this one's wither skeletons. That's how we get our skulls and our coal. This one's zombies, as you can tell. The one across from it right here is a enderman. Right here we have a slime. Here is blazes, and this will be witches. However, I've been struggling to find any to be able to get the spawn eggs, so currently it's not witches. To get the redstone working, so these are all wireless. As you can see, there is that little piece right there on top of it. That uses the damn it, accidentally broke it. Grab that back down. It's redstone link, that's what it's called. And it can use a frequency that is designated by an item in one or more of the frequency slots. So this one designates for the frequency of blaze rods and frequency 1, and it will send power. That one, you can tell by the little antenna right there, that will receive power on the frequency of a blaze rod in frequency 1. We've also got this up here, and I moved the 4 XP tanks from where they were before to right here. I have used them. They filled up multiple times while I was building this, as you can tell by my levels at 544. So levels will most likely never be an issue again. But besides that, we have the heat generators, like I mentioned before. They use the coal to make heat and energy, Next is the metallurgic infuser. The metallurgic infuser can be used to create a bunch of the mechanism things, including basic circuits. Basic circuits are going to be needed for basically everything that we will be doing from this point on in Mechanism. Created in the metallurgic infuser with energy from our heat generators, an osmium ingot for the main item, and a redstone source for the input thing. Now we will need to have I will make a special spot for mechanism stuff, but for now it's just going to go down here with all this, just because I don't have a spot designated for now. Although there's one more thing we need to do that I actually forgot to set up. We need to make flux points. If we look at these, flux core, flux dust created by compressing redstone dust and bedrock, redstone dust on bedrock and obsidian. So for that we just need some redstone. We're gonna need a decent amount of this, I believe. Then we just need to go down to the bedrock layer, get outside and just dig down from there. These will allow us to have wireless energy transfer, so we don't need to have a bunch of wires going across the base or anything like that. They're pretty fast and reliable. As you can also tell, I upgraded the netherite pickaxe from before to a netherite paxel, just so I wouldn't need to switch between different types of items in order to dig down and everything. Now, the other thing that we were trying to get, the witches for the mob farm, that is due to them dropping redstone. And as you can tell by my 26,000 blocks of netherrack, I've been digging in the nether for quite a while. That is because I, of course, did not find the spawn egg for witches like I wanted to, so I had no choice but to just settle for getting the ores in the nether. A lot easier to find ores in netherrack than it is in stone. Alright, so our goal for using Mechanism right now and in this episode is to obtain something called the digital miner. The digital miner will let us basically mine ores in another dimension, and that is going to be what we're going to use for we're going to use that for the diamonds, because diamonds are one of the issues we have currently due to the mass amounts required for things like the Omega upgrade. 648 diamonds per Omega upgrade. While it is an incredibly useful upgrade and it basically makes it so you don't need to worry about storage space ever again. Multiple requires, well, one requires 600.5 diamonds. I only have 487. While that is a good amount, it's still nowhere near enough. Besides that, let's grab obsidian. I think I only need 1 block of obsidian regardless of the amount of redstone. Yep, that's what we do. Wait, no, I was wrong. I don't remember what to do with this. I haven't done this in a while. Obsidian. What do we do with this? Compressing redstone dust with bedrock and obsidian. So is it not that? I'll be right back. I'm gonna try and figure out how we do this. Alright, here we go. I found out how to do it. So you take the obsidian, you place it 1 block up, and you right click it. There we go. Now we have 4 stacks of flux dust. And the obsidian turned to cobblestone. Now we need to head back up. I'll see you guys when I get back to the base for the next crafting bit. 3, 2. Alright, here we are. We have all the flux dust and we are back up here to the base. Now we can create the flux points. Well, more so the flux cores first. We're gonna need a decent amount of Eyes of Ender, which is fine because we have both a blaze and a enderman farm, so even if we use all of what we have, we still are good. That gets math easy. There we go. And here's half a stack of Eyes of Ender. Let's start off with making this one. This is a flux configurator. The flux configurator makes it so that all of the configurations you make for your flux network, you can add them to every other piece in your network very easily. Rather than having to select everything yourself, this just saves all the configurations and lets you paste the configurations. Next, we're gonna need a lot of obsidian. For example, if we want 10 of these, yeah, no, we'll go down to 8 of these. We're gonna need a stack of obsidian. Do not have in there, so there's a stack of obsidian. Wrong amount. Now we need 20 ender pearls and 10 blaze rods. So let's just grab that real quick. That and there's that. Turn these into blaze powder. I need 10 plate event or pearls. Do I need the ender pearls? Yes, I think I do. All the flux cores. Now we make the flux blocks. 10 of those. Now we need to make the flux points. Plugs, sorry. Receives energy. So these are the things that will take the energy from our heat generators. So if we go down here, should have just taken the elevator. We go down here to what we have and we place these plugs. Need a few more than just that. This is going to be a very ugly placement, but we don't have the space currently, so it's just going to have to do with what there is. Also call this Genesis, just for now. I might end up changing it later. Private security. Then network connections, statistics, network man. Oh, this isn't on the network just yet. There we go. Okay, so wireless charging, no. Not connections, not statistics, and settings. These just show the different things that go on in your network. Like this is statistics tab. Let you know every plug you have, that's what receives energy. That can be put out throughout your system, and the points can give energy. So we have the one plug, there's no input to it. Let's just go here though. Let's remove the power surge, or let's add power surge, and let's remove bypass limit. That is going to make it so we can just easily, with a lot of those. Transfer limit, oh wait, actually we might want to increase the transfer limit one. Now we can just it's going to be a little annoying. So now everything will have this set already in. Now we take our heat generators, we put them, nope, other way around. Put all of these in like this. And there we go. Now all of those are connected there. I don't know why I made 10 of these. I have 8 of those. For now, we can just do this. There we go. Now they're all going to convert that into FE. I don't know what that stands for off the top of my head. Okay. Now we need to create something called a flux point. As I just said before, this is what will allow us to actually take from our network. We're going to need 6 right now, but later we're going to need a bit more, so we're just going to make 18. So let's see, 4 blaze rods are required, or if we just do this. Five, 6. Now that we have those in, we just need 51 more obsidian, which I do not actually have, so let's go to the lava pools. Yeah. We're just gonna need to grab all the lava out of that as obsidian. Alright, here we are. Now that we're back and we have all of the resources for this part, let's create 72 flux cores. There, 72 of those, and 18 flux points. Now that we have the flux points, we can actually attach the metallurgic infusers to everything that we need. So let's just go down here. These are gaining a decent amount of FE. We're at 200 or 20,000 FE or 20 kilo. What? Why are some of these? Huh. Well, I have zero clue why that's working like that, but for some reason, like, this one has so much lava left in it, and it's... But these got the same amount. I don't know. Not my concern right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 metallurgic infusers. Right, there we go. Now all of these metallurgic infusers are completely full, and these had some of the power stripped away from them. Now that we have the metallurgic infusers, though, we can move on to the next part. We're going to be making, I guess we can make wind generators first, actually. So for these, we're going to need, actually, no, we should make enrichment chambers first. Specifically, just one enrichment chamber. I'm going to need 4 iron ingots. 4 iron ingots. I need 40 carbon, which is 4 coal. 4 coal, 8 coal. 4 coal, 8 coal, 4 redstone. Grab that. Right, there we go, that's that. Those are fuels, so we can do 4 coal, 4 coal, 4 redstone. Now we can go back to the other material costs. We need iron ingots for the steel. So we're going to need 4 steel, which costs 4 enriched iron. Enriched iron requires iron, so we need 4 iron for 4 enriched iron, 4 enriched iron for 4 steel dust, 4 steel dust for 4 steel ingots. We just need to grab 4 iron ingots. There we go. Those in there. That's gonna make that portion of it. Other than that, we need glass. I believe I just have some straight glass in the inventory somewhere. Yep. How much do we need? We need 4. 3, 4. There. Now we need some osmium, 3 osmium to be exact. Grab that. 3. That's making us our enriched iron. The osmium needs to be turned into basic control circuits. 2 of those. What is the other bit of used for, though? Oh, there's one in the steel casing. So anyway, 2 osmium is gonna go into there. Nope, wrong one. Into there. This 4 enriched iron is gonna go into here to make the steel. Then we'll need to smelt it for steel ingots, then we'll have the steel casing. Besides that, what we're gonna need is 4 redstone, 2 iron. actually start smelting. Basic circuits are done. Dislike that that's the one that it makes, however, I guess it doesn't really matter. I need to change this from that kind of steel, which is made out of that kind of dust. There we go. Now we can make the steel casing and enrichment chamber. There we go. Now we're going to need 1 point. We're going to take the enrichment chamber. It's already full of energy now, but now we can move on to making the wind generators. We've got to get through these quick because without them we will run out of power just on the heating. We're still doing decent on power, so that shouldn't be an immediate issue. However, we do want to get it done as fast as possible. So let's see. How many of these do we want to make? Is that reasonable? Let's just make 32. We need 192 of that. So we've got all the gold. We've got the gold. Now we need 156 copper. I don't believe we have that any. Oh wait, right here. $56. Yep. Go. Now we have all the copper. I must have counted wrong. Anyway, now we have all the copper. We're gonna need 284 redstone. $284. That's all the redstone. Now we need to make 28 enriched redstone. There's that part right there. Now we need 12 osmium ingots, which does not make sense, because we need 32 basic control units. And it's because I had the osmium in here. But that also tells me we do not have enough osmium, which is upsetting. So I'm going to real quick go mine some more osmium. In the meantime, we're gonna finish the rest of these. We're gonna need 160 infused alloys. That's where the copper ingots come from. Don't think we need copper for anything else. Yeah, that's all the copper we need. Let's split this into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can split it 6 ways. For now, let's just do that like this. There we go. Oh, but make these, each one requires 10 redstone. So they need to be in multiples of 8. There. Now we can take this and just make some of these already. 4. 1, 2, 3. 2. 3. Right here. Now we just have the 32 copper ingot 1 here. Where we need the rest. We need some of this, not all of it. Oh, we need the rest of the redstone for the basic controls. As I said though, I'm gonna go mining real quick and get the osmium that we need. Alright, we're back. We have all the osmium that we needed. Right here, we needed 2 stacks of it. Make 32 basic controls. So put that in there. Going to require a decent amount of that. I think 8 works. 8 it's 100. It's 80 times by 20 is 1,600. 1,006. 80 times 8 is 60. 40 by 0 divided by 10, there's 64 divided by 2, 32, so it makes 32. Yeah, there we go. That's all the basic circuits that we needed. All of the oh damn it, all of these are still on their way to making the rest of the infused alloys. In the meantime, let's see what we've got. So everything up to here is done or being completed. So now we just need to create the energy tablets ourselves and create the wind generators. See you guys when all the rest of these materials are done being made up. Alright, here we are. Now that we have all of the materials down, let's just take all of these out. All of these, large amount of materials. Now we can make 64 energy tap. Oh shit. Alright, we have some extra energy tablets. And we need to make some more materials. It was not a smart move on my play. Let's see, 10 redstone, 10 copper ingots. Alright, I'll see you guys when that is complete as well. Alright, here we are. Now we have the other 10 infused alloy. Now we can make 32 wind generators. There we go. These all, depending on where they are when placed, will generate a different amount of energy. Which also reminds me we're going to need more flux plugs. Just from that alone. So yeah, clearly these are very powerful. They're going to be very nice to have. And we most likely won't need to worry about energy for a while. However, we are going to need some plugs. So let's head back down. Get rid of all the generators. Because none of them stack. Alright, we have 8, no, we have 10 plugs because we also have 2 somewhere else. I guess. Got 1, 2, 4, 6, 9. 9. I guess we have 9 plugs. Unless I'm just pretty sure I crafted 10 though. In the wrong spot or something? No, it's on the ground still. There we go. That's 10 plugs. We need 32. So let's see. Plugs. Here. We have 10, we need 32, so we need 22 right now. Which means we need to get 6 more blaze rods, 11 more ender pearls. Blaze rods and 11 ender pearls. Sure, that's that. Do that. That. We need 17 obsidian. Now finally we need a bit more flux dust, which means one of these obsidian and a lot of redstone. I'm gonna make a lot this time, like a ton. And we're actually gonna go down from the portal room because it's at negative 49 already. There we go. We're already here. Real quick, need to turn this one off. Oh, this is... We're gonna need to get more redstone. Be annoying. Now that we have this part, we can actually get the rest of the flux plugs as we need. Let's get a decent amount of those. We should only have enough for the required. Yeah. There's that. Make 12 of these. 12 plugs. Now that we have all of those, equip them all, and there's a bunch of plugs that are put to the network. Now as for the location of where we will be building these, for now I don't have like a platform built out or anything, so we're just going to put them right over here. Oh, and I realized we don't have sound very well. Sorry, it's been pretty quiet most of this video. So I also just realized we didn't actually need this many plugs because we can just do this. Damn it. I'm really surprised that these don't make a ton of sound. I was completely expecting these to just make a lot of sound like turbines do in real life. I'm really surprised that it actually doesn't do much. Right, there we go. The rest of these. Now we have more than enough energy for anything else we're going to do today. And eventually I will move these out of the way so they're not just like some giant structure right there that just takes up too much space in our base. I guess we can go for making some... make some more enrichment chambers. That's the last. After that, we are going to make the we'll make the crusher next. We're gonna make 8 of these. Now we need a bit more space. Now we have all 8 osmium compressors, and we are good to move on to the digital miner. This will definitely be a complicated one, as you can tell, but we're going to start small. We're going to go for first, well, I guess we're going to do that. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a difficult recipe. All right, here we are. We have majority of the materials here. We made the refined obsidian ingot using an osmium ingot and refined osmium dust in the osmium compressor. And we have the atomic alloy from before, which again is just this process right there. Now with those, we're going to make the teleportation core. We're going to make 2 of those. Next, we're going to make the personal chest. Then the robot. 2 logistic sorters. Finally, we have our digital miner. There we go. Now we have the digital miner that we've been trying to get for so long. Well, not really for so long, but we have the digital miner that we've been needing for so long. Say. Alright, here we are. Welcome back. Now that we have the digital miner placed down, so I went ahead and gave it some power and also messed with the configs and everything to make sure everything works. I added the ores that we would want to have in here. I obtained those ores through a silk touch pickaxe. You go through new filter, item stack, and you can make it so that it mines that type of item. Now it would mine all of this in the area, which I do not want at all. To do that, you can also config the block radius. Currently it's at 32 blocks. This will make it so that it mines all of the ores in the filter within this radius right here, going from the Y minimum range of -64, so bedrock, to 319, so the sky limit. And I also went ahead and crafted this, the stone generator upgrade. It's extremely cheap. It's just an infused alloy, bucket of lava, water, and 2 glass blocks. And so if we go here, put this in the upgrade slot, there we go. We've got a stone generator upgrade. The way that that will work is that when it mines an item, instead of leaving a hole in the ground, it will fill it up with stone instead. We just hit start. Blocks in the area, and it starts mining. Now we can also use the orange spots on it to export the items into an inventory, but for now this is all we're going to have it do. Of which this is actually where this video will be ending. So if you enjoyed, please leave a comment down below and tell me if you like this video being shorter like how it is today compared to most other videos, if you think it should be shorter, if you think it should stay at the regular 1 hour-ish mark that I normally have, or if you think 40-ish minutes is better. I'd love to hear the feedback so that way I can decide how long videos going on in the future should be. Thank you very much, and as always, have a wonderful day. Hope to see you again.